I find it weird that they're the ones that are portioning the monetary contribution that's going to be made.
But then I'm thinking again that a lot of people are probably insisting on certain traditions because it benefits them.
What do you think about the whole, list? Just the whole list and whatever. Personally, if I had my way, I'll probably say there's no need.
I'm standing with that guy. Like, I'm standing in front, behind, beside. I'm standing with him.
Hello, you're welcome to Gist Arena. All we do is gist, and gist. We discuss topical, trending, and exciting topics, and we have fun while at it. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy each thrilling moment of gist, and gist. Welcome to another episode of Gist Arena, where all we do is gist, and gist. I am Cynthia, and today on the episode, we are actually just two. Yeah! I am here with Ayotunde, and together we will be discussing about bride price. I mean, I feel like this has been long coming. I'm just amongst us, we've discussed it sometimes, like us on the ground, not bringing it to fore, and I'm excited somewhat to be discussing it today. Now, before we go into the matter, there was something that we came across online, and Ayotunde drew my attention to it, and she was like, Cynthia, we must talk about this. So we're here. So just before we go into it, I will just briefly read the story that we saw online, and then that would be the springboard for our discussion. So it goes first. I got married 8 months ago. My hobby earns 70k monthly while I am yet to get a job. During our wedding ceremony, Obi spent about 580k on the list given to him for the traditional wedding. I persuaded my parents to reduce the list, but they said it is a must and a tradition. He was able to raise the money as I wasn't working and I couldn't help financially. After marriage, I suggested he should be sending something monthly to my parents as he does send to his parents too. But to my surprise, the reply he gave me was that he didn't owe my parents anything, that they have collected all they are entitled to from him. I was not angry about that until my younger brother wanted to get married and his bride's family gave him lists of things for the traditional wedding, which amounted to 400k. My dad then shared the expenses and told my husband to contribute 120k towards my brother's wedding. But to my surprise, my husband said no and told me that my family has collected all they wanted during our wedding and they shouldn't come to him for any financial assistance. This got me angry and I told him that he is not responsible. Ever since then, we have been living like strangers in the house. He doesn't talk to me. He has just been keeping to himself, and I have never seen him this way before, not even in our 2 years of courting. What should I do? Help a sister, please. When I first read this story, I busted into laugh. That was just the first thing. And I looked at the salaries to start with. This man is earning 70k monthly. Even for a single person, earning 70k monthly can barely feed you. He is now married, and the person is getting or he got married to does not even have a job. Like, what are they doing? Why? And I checked to see if she was pregnant, but I didn't see anywhere where she was pregnant. No, she's not pregnant. So why on earth was she not working? Okay, let's assume that maybe she couldn't get a job. You are not working. Why on earth are your parents asking for 580k monthly? Hey, I'm sorry, not 580k, but why are they asking for 580k for your bride price? Just let me see. The K is 1,000. That's just our Nigerian lingo. Why are they asking for 580,000 naira on a list? It's not. I actually thought that was the amount that was paid, to organize a wedding. So you're telling me he bought something or gave your parents, or the list that they gave him was going to cost him or costed him 580K, and he was still going to pay for or finance a wedding. Wow. 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 Let's just unpack that first before we now go into the other part of our brother. Doc, what do you think? Or let us share your thoughts with me.
Hey, Cynthia. Hello, everyone. As usual, it's good to be here again to gist, and gist. You see, a lot of things we do in the name of tradition don't make sense to me. And I actually sometimes ask myself if I belong to this realm, because I really can't fathom, many things that we do in the name of tradition, or how we rigidly insist that some things should be done, even when they are no longer beneficial. We insist on doing those things just in the name of tradition. I just wonder, who made these rules? Who wrote these codes that can't be changed? I don't get it. I really do not understand. And I'm just thinking, if something is no longer serving you, or is no longer beneficial, why are you insisting on doing those things? But then I'm thinking again that a lot of people are probably insisting on certain traditions because it benefits them, even though it doesn't benefit other people, but it benefits them. So for selfish reasons, they insist that these things should be done. Because if not that, why would these parents know? At least they must have had an idea that their son-in-law makes just 70K per month. Their daughter has no job, so she's not going to contribute nothing, financially to that relationship or that marriage. And then they are asking him to go bring 580K. Where do they want him to see that kind of money? Should he steal? Or should he go and borrow? Okay, take loan or something, so that after he's married to their daughter, he will now die under the weight of loan or debt. Because I am trying to imagine why they had to insist that you should get that money at all costs. Is it this bride list thing? I don't know, because there are people who get married, maybe in other places, who don't go through all of these things, and yet they are happily married. All these customs, traditions, and all of that don't determine the outcome of a marriage. So why do we insist that these things should be done? Again, it serves just the interest of certain people, but then they don't consider, the negative effect on other people. Because I understand, yes, bring something, tradition, but what's with the rigidity? It is just annoying. 580K. 580K. Abana. Well, you said we are going to unpack, of course, a lot of things, but let me just make my stand known that I'm standing with that guy. Like, I'm standing in front, behind, beside. I'm standing with him in this case, because that was selfish on the part of the parents. That wasn't nice at all. It's just nasty.
Even myself, I stand with him. I'm definitely with him on that his result. I mean, after spending such money on the list, on the bride price slash list, and the guy is making 70K, and you now expect him to come and contribute or contribute. Also, in terms of the contribution, I think that the funds should not have been given to our husband, since it is our own brother. That money, the 120K contribution, should have been given to her. It is her family. Now, when she now gets home, she should not find out to tell her husband, and husband will tell her that no, I'm not doing. I think it's well, this is my own thinking. Yours might be different. My Otunde, I think it's a bit somehow for her father to be sharing money to him, to the son-in-law. No, don't do that. That's not his brother. I understand that there's the family, there's supposed to be a fellowship, because of the joining of the family, and they are now one. I understand they are now one, but I still strongly believe that that money should have been shared, or his wife should have been the one informed, and then I mean, of course, if she's not stupid, she should have told her father that, of course, I'm not working. How do you expect me to sort of contribute? Now, what do you think about in a situation where, like the way our brother wants to get married now, and he doesn't have, I don't know why they're sharing the money, but I'm guessing it's because he doesn't have money. Why, what do you think about sharing responsibility like that to other members of the family? Now, I get, I stand behind, if I know that, for example, my sibling is getting married, I would say, okay, I'm going to I'm going to, take charge of this or whatever. I find it weird that my dad will now say, ah, Cynthia, you are the one that is going to take care of, or Cynthia, you just bring 500,000 naira. That's your own share of the. It's a bit weird. I would rather I mean, that's just the way I am thinking. I'd rather they say, okay, fine, maybe the budget for the whole wedding is maybe 500,000 naira. How can you help, or what, are you going to be able to contribute or something like that, sir? I find it weird that they're the ones that are portioning the monetary contribution that's going to be made. What do you think?
I agree with you, Cynthia, that the sister of the groom to be should be the one to get information about our own share of the contribution, and well, she will come up with a contribution one way or the other. Of course, it's expected in this context, that's in their own context now, that she would go home to say, okay, husband Manu, this is my share, and so how do we go about it? But I also think that their family dynamics will play a role. So we don't know how they go about these things in their family. So I can't say whether it's right or wrong to have told the son-in-law straight up, because I just feel that different family dynamics will, influence decisions, and I mean, share differently. So maybe that's how it's done in their family. So I mean, that's just that about that. And well, again, in their context, they know their daughter isn't working anyway, so it's the husband that is the sole provider. So I guess he's the one that will, take responsibility anyway, or that they expect to take responsibility. So they could just, tell him, Ogbeni, okay, this is, I mean, what is going on. But like I said, their family dynamics will definitely play a role in that regard. Now, as to whether it's okay to divide the contribution, into portions and then give to each member of the family. I also think that, I mean, yeah, it's a family thing, okay? So if my sibling is getting married or is doing, something, yeah, I will pull my weight. I will do what I can. But well, I have never experienced, that kind of a situation where they would divide money and say, okay, this is your own portion or something like that. So, and so I think I also, lean more to your side, Cynthia, that, hey, number one, in this kind of situation, I think it's the parents that, take the bulk of the parents and the person that is getting married, because you're getting married, you should have some substantial amount, to be able to, because see, these are the things. You have this much, to manage your family, and then when you start it, and then some people are somewhere bringing some kind of ridiculous amount for you to to do a traditional wedding, or what have you. It just puts unnecessary burden on people. Look at it now. So apparently the guy probably doesn't have that amount, so he brings it back to his parents, and then his parents now are pushing it on some other members of the family. And it's just not okay, this kind of things, like I mentioned earlier. But anyway, um what I was saying is that should be, if somebody, if your child is getting married, you have to support your child. You throw your weight behind your child, and then your child too should have certain amount of that he or she is putting into that. Because if not, why don't you just go and do one small thing, and just be done. It's not about the severity, and all. Well, like I said earlier, some of these things don't make sense. If you have to now start disturbing other people, you have to start borrowing money, and stuff like that. It just makes a mess of the whole thing, as far as I'm concerned. So I think I agree with you to an extent that you shouldn't have to impose on other members of the family and say, okay, this is the amount you have to pay. What if I don't have that kind of money? So I should also go and check busy, because look, it all boils down to some nonsensical traditions that we hold on to, as far as I'm concerned. So I agree with you. You shouldn't, nobody should impose anything on another person. As a family member, yes, you pull your weight, you do what you can, but then the person that is getting married, and then the parents, they should, be the ones to, for me, as far as I'm concerned, they should be the ones to carry, the bulk of the responsibility, and then let other family members just uh, do the much that they can, and that's just it.
So we're definitely on the same page. Something that I've been hearing about, something that has come up in discussions that I've even partaken of, or that I partook of, is the abolishment of bride price, or the quote unquote list, the list that that is given to the groom's family when a guy is planning on getting married. Some people have advocated that we're in the 21st century, so just some of these customs and traditions, just like you mentioned earlier on, they're phasing out. We shouldn't hold on to it. The main idea, the main idea of this, the the sorry, not main idea, the so sort of the trickle effect of this system or tradition is, like this guy said, now you've collected 580K from me, I don't have no business giving them anything. So it sort of feels like you're selling your child to this particular man, and you're just timing out this person. There's been discussions around whether it should be abolished. What do you think? For me, I think that family composition has to do with it. For example, we almost never hear of instances like this where the family is well to do, or the family, they are financially capable of taking, just taking charge of this. That's fine. But where you are dealing with an average family, or, lower cadre, you need to, be reasonable in these things. Even you, Gongo, when you give a list that almost you are spending almost 100K to get all the item on the list, and even you yourself you can't boost of that 100,000 naira. Is that not witchcraft? I also believe that even in situations where you know that they are capable and you want to collect the bride price or stuff like that, I think you should also make it known to them that you're not selling your child or whatever. Because I remember when my sister was getting married, yes, they were giving a list, and also I think there was bride price or whatever, and they did bring the bride price, but my dad returned the bride price to them, saying that they did, like, I'm not selling my child or whatever. But in retrospect, or just thinking about it now, I am not thinking that since you knew that you were going to return it, why is it on the list? This is me just thinking. I didn't even really think or process this previously, but now I'm thinking, if since you know that you're going to still return it, why then was it on the list? Anyways, that's me just thinking. So what do you think about the abolishment of it? What do you think about the whole, list? Just the whole list and whatever. Personally, if I had my way, I'll probably say there's no need or whatever. But of course, I'm not my own person. I'm still sort of answerable to my family and stuff. But at least at the end of the day, I feel like just live what I feel like. What do you think?
I don't have a care for the list. I really don't care about the list. So if people are moving for it to be abolished, I say, yay, let's let it go. Okay, because like I mentioned, so some of these things that we insist on or that we hold on to, they do not contribute to the success of a marriage in any way. In fact, on the contrary, some of these things, end up being the cracks, the loopholes, in some marriages, that tend to threaten, the success of some of these marriages, because these things will crop up. Look at the situation now. The husband and the wife are now keeping malice simply because the man has refused to do any other thing for his wife's family. So they as far as I'm concerned, some of these things that we insist on are more damaging than rewarding at the end of the day. At least to the marriage that's concerned, because the parents now, they've taken 580K, they've probably spent it, squandered it, and all of that. But then the marriage for which all of that was done is now in trouble. So it's let it go. I am thinking that back in the days, the purpose for maybe the bride list and all of that, the man bringing stuff to the bride's family, probably was to show that he places premium value on the woman he wants to marry. I mean, the guy now, so like the bride's family, would want to see a show, that this man will go to any length or will do anything to marry a woman that he values. I mean, if you want to get diamond, for instance, you're going to have to, put a lot of money on it, to acquire it, right? So, okay, I don't want to use that word acquire, because again, to use that illustration is almost like you said, as if you are buying something, acquiring a property or something like that. But I don't want to see it that way. I'm thinking that, now, if you really, really value something, you would go to any length to get that thing right. So if you really, really value someone, you do stuff for them, you go to lengths for them. So I'm thinking that back then that was the intention, that the man shows that he would at least go to lengths to marry a woman that he places premium value on. And then I'm also thinking that it's maybe a show, that the man is also able to cater, for the woman he wants to marry. He's able to take care of her needs, because back then, of course, the man is the one that is expected to be responsible for the upkeep of the woman, to give her everything, right? And I remember that I used to hear Erijawo. So back then it was even, I think that it's the things on the list belong to the bride, so she's the one that gets those things. So it's more, again, it's more like the man showing that, look, I can take care of you. That's what I think, you know. But then those dynamics have changed. All right, those dynamics have changed. Things are no longer, how they used to be. So things have evolved. And so I still do not see a reason why we hold on to some of these things that are no longer, profitable, or that are no longer, how do I say it now? That are just no longer profitable. I mean, sorry. So, um, I also think that, probably because back then too, the Bright family would be in charge of maybe the entertainment and all of that. So it's more like, okay, maybe a division of labor kind of thing. I don't know. I'm just thinking. And so at least if we are the ones receiving visitors, so we are the ones that will take care of all of that. So the mantle at least should show that, I mean, is responsible in some kind of way. But again, now, we know that it's more of joint effort. The bride's family bring something, the groom's family, we also contribute, or at least let's just say the bride and the groom, they're going to contribute towards their marriage. So it's now a joint effort. So why are you now still putting burden on someone else, someone's son, to upon on top of all the expenses that is still going to have to deal with, as to making the event remarkable and successful and glorious. You still put all of that, burden on him. It's not necessary, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, we might talk about, okay, yeah, let him bring gifts and all of that, but can you allow him to use his discretion, to do that? Because this list now, the list that I see is this, it's not for the bride though, it's for the family of the bride. Like, what's up with that? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. So, I mean, the exchange of gifts, and because the guy is marrying your daughter, but then your daughter is also marrying the guy now. Is it not two people marrying each other? So what is your own daughter giving to the family of the man that she wants to marry? Okay, well, I let it go. I don't care for the list.
All right. Let it go, let it go. Don't mind me, I beg. So I was thinking about, something was raised in the write-up that I read earlier on, where she said that she wasn't working. So it sort of came across like the burden of getting married was on the guy, on the groom. And I have seen sort of this pattern where, the woman involved is not really doing anything, so she's not able to contribute financially to sort of the getting married process and all of that. I'm thinking that if, I mean, I understand if the person is still quite young and cannot contribute financially, but then again, I'm thinking if you cannot contribute financially, why are you getting married? I feel like it's a bit of a touchy subject. Some would swing towards it doesn't matter, if she can contribute or not. But I'm like, she's going into a marriage where she's supposed to stand alone. If she's not contributing financially, is she not going ahead to be a financial burden on the person that she's getting married to? Also, I know that there's some people that say that the family, as the bride's family, can also sort of contribute and um, contribute and sort of make the marriage, the wedding work, or making the wedding a reality and all of that. In my head, I am thinking if the family of of the lady or the bride has that money. So why hasn't it been used to set the lady up such that she actually has a source or means of livelihood before she actually goes on? So I don't know. Sometimes I'm swayed, towards if you don't have money, don't get married, it's not for man or woman. Sometimes when I hear the narrative, they always say, "Oh, as a man, if you don't have a source of income, don't get married or whatever." In my head, I'm like, man or woman, if you don't have money, don't get married. I've also seen situations where the lady is still in school because there's this that I mean most often than not the guy is older than the considerably older than the woman, and he is of course more established than the lady, and the lady might still be in higher institution, and she doesn't have this I mean she's not making money, but then they still go ahead to get married and the marriage is a success. So that I'm always swaying to the side to that side every once in a while. So what do you think?
Hmm. Okay, I have a friend, who categorically says that he doesn't want to get married to a woman who's not working. And I can totally understand that because I think belong to that school of thought that um, a woman should have something that she's bringing to the table financially, right? So I believe that it should be both parties, contributing to the upkeep of the home financially and in every other aspect. Okay, so, and I, as a person, don't want to be that woman who is not, bringing something to the table. But then that's me, all right? I think I am a little bit of, an independent person. I like to be able to take care of myself. Not that I'm averse to someone else taking care of me. Oh, you know, I do, of course, want that. Who doesn't even like that? Okay, so I'm not averse to that. But then, even at that, I just, there's still something in me that doesn't really feel right when the other person is the one doing everything and I'm not, really at least, doing something to augment. That's just me. That's the way I am. So when the other day when we were talking about um going Dutch and all of that, that's why I probably don't even have an issue with that because I really think, oh, if we go out together and everything like that, you shouldn't be the only one. I mean, at least let me give something, let me put something that's the way I am. So I don't want to be that woman who is not working and who is is not bringing something to the table. And then I also do not really want to, to be financially dependent on anybody because I actually really do believe that when you are dependent on someone, either financially or otherwise, you tend to kind of like give them a bit of control over you. They may not exert that control. There are good people, okay, there are good people out there who, will provide for you. There are good men out there who will do everything, they will provide everything for you because they believe that that's, their role and they will take it up and do it judiciously, okay, and not exert control over you based on that. But the truth remains that, there is that bit of control that you have given them. And so if they want to exert that control, they will, do it at will. And so I don't see myself, giving someone control over my life like that. Like I like to be able to, make my decisions, or at least I want to be heard. I want to matter. And I think that if someone is able to, control you and say, this is how I want you to do it, blah blah blah, simply because they can, or simply because you're dependent on them, no, I don't want to be in that situation. So yes, all things being equal, because I know that things happen, and someone may lose their job or this or that, or you may have to, things, circumstances that you do not foresee sometimes crop up, that you may have to give up something for something. It depends on, again, dynamics. So yeah, but all things being equal, I agree, I fall in line with that thought that a woman should bring something to the table financially. But then having said that, again, that's all me. I don't think that I can say that this is the code or this is the rule that a woman should. I can't say that a woman should not get married if she's not working. I really cannot say that, because in some cases it's even the man that says don't work. I have the resources. I can take care of you. I can take care of all of us. And the woman says, okay, that's what my husband wants. I want to please my husband, so she doesn't work, or for whatever reason, she's not able to work. So I really cannot say, because, hey, I'm not all traditional, but then if a man is claiming, is the head of the house, so it's got to be responsible, right? So usually when I think in terms of finances, and having finances before getting married, I actually really used to think it in terms of the man, because I feel like if you cannot, as a man, you cannot take care of yourself, you cannot even you cannot you don't have the means to really even take care of yourself. How do you want to take care of your wife? How do you want to take care of your children? So I'm usually like, guy, if you don't have enough, don't get married. So I've not really thought about it in terms of the woman, that if she's not working, she shouldn't get married. But like I said, personally, I think that it's just a good thing to do, to have what you're contributing financially. But then again, that's me. So I can't say that I cannot completely say that, oh, as a woman, no, if you're not working, don't get married. But for a man like my friend who says he's not going to get married to a woman who's not working, I can't say, I'm not even going to say this or that, blah, blah. I totally understand his standpoint, because I believe that both of them should bring something to the table. So, well, that's just it. That's what I can say about that. I can't say it's right. I can't say it's wrong. But from where I stand, I think it's just, it's for me, it makes better sense, for me. That's what I'll say.
Thank you, Ayotunde. And with that, we've come to the end of another episode. Please share your comments with us, share your thoughts with us on the issues, on the bride price issue that we discussed. Do you think that should be abolished? Do you think we should leave it? If we're leaving it, do you think that families need to review, how they are asking? Do you think that some things need to be taken into consideration? Just share what you're thinking with us. Please follow us on our Instagram account at Gist Arena, ending with a double A, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Gist Arena. We look forward to seeing you. We look forward to having you in our fold. Until next time, do enjoy the rest of your week. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Gist Arena. We hope you enjoyed the topic discussed. Please drop your comments and let us know what you think about it. We'll definitely love to hear from you. Until next time, bye!